The entire room went silent when the CEO screamed, "Hurry up! My dinner's getting cold." Hundreds of eyes turned toward the single father standing beside the ruined dinner table. He was not a waiter. He was not a servant. He was the man who had been called to fix a problem no one else could solve. What he did next shocked everyone, not because he was angry, but because he chose kindness when he had every reason to walk away. And by the end of that unforgettable night, the powerful CEO would learn that the person she had treated as invisible was about to teach her the most important lesson of her life. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling us where you are watching from. Your support helps us bring more emotional stories about kindness and hope to you. The Grand Bell Hotel was filled with important people that evening. Business leaders, investors, celebrities, and politicians had gathered for the annual charity dinner. Crystal glasses sparkled under huge chandeliers. Soft music played in the background. Waiters moved quickly between tables, carrying expensive meals prepared by one of the city's finest chefs. At the center of it all was Victoria Sterling, the CEO of Sterling Global. Victoria was known for being brilliant, successful, and extremely demanding. She had built her company from almost nothing. Now, she was one of the most powerful businesswomen in the city. But there was another side to Victoria. She had become so focused on success that she often forgot the people standing right in front of her. That night, everything had to be perfect. Unfortunately, just before the main course was served, something went terribly wrong. The hotel's heating system suddenly stopped working. A strange smell filled part of the dining hall. Then the lights flickered. Guests began whispering nervously. The hotel manager quickly discovered that a small mechanical failure had affected the kitchen ventilation system. The kitchen could not safely continue cooking until the problem was fixed. The head engineer was already working on it, but the system was complicated. The charity dinner was running late. Victoria looked at her watch. Her expression became darker. "I have investors waiting for me," she said angrily. "This dinner was supposed to start an hour ago." The hotel manager apologized. "We are doing everything we can, Ms. Sterling." "Everything?" Victoria snapped. "Then why is nothing working?" At that moment, a man in a dark work jacket entered through the side door. His name was Daniel Carter. Daniel was 38 years old and worked as an independent maintenance technician. He repaired heating systems, kitchen equipment, electrical problems, and almost anything else people called him to fix. He was also a single father. His 8-year-old daughter, Emma, was waiting at home with her grandmother. Daniel had promised Emma that he would be home before dinner. But when the hotel called him about an emergency, he agreed to come. He needed the money. His daughter needed new school shoes, and Daniel had been taking every job he could find. He walked toward the broken system with his toolbox. The hotel manager pointed at it. "Can you fix this?" Daniel examined the machine carefully. "Maybe. But I need to shut down the power first." "Do it," the manager said. Daniel got to work. For nearly 30 minutes, he climbed, checked wires, cleaned parts, and tested the system. Meanwhile, Victoria sat at the main table. Her dinner was getting colder. She looked toward Daniel. "Hurry up," she shouted. Daniel stopped for a moment. The entire room became quiet. Victoria stood up. "My dinner is getting cold." Daniel slowly turned around. He looked tired. His clothes were dirty from working on the machine. But he remained calm. "I understand," he said. Victoria pointed toward the kitchen. "You were called here to fix this problem. So please fix it." Daniel looked at the clock. Then he looked at the long table filled with expensive food. Finally, he looked at the guests. He noticed something most people had ignored. Near the back of the room, a young hotel worker was sitting alone. She looked exhausted. Her name was Maria. She had been working since early morning. Daniel had seen her carrying heavy trays all evening. He also noticed an older waiter quietly rubbing his feet. Daniel suddenly remembered his own daughter. He remembered how Emma always told him that the best part of dinner was sitting together. It was not the food. It was the people. Daniel turned back toward the machine. "I'll fix it," he said. Then he added quietly, "But food can wait a few minutes. People shouldn't have to." Victoria stared at him. "What does that mean?" Daniel looked at the employees. "It means everyone here deserves to eat." The room became completely silent. Daniel walked toward the hotel manager. "Are the kitchen workers getting dinner?" The manager looked surprised. I don't know." Daniel looked at the tables. "Then let's find out." Victoria crossed her arms. "This is not your job." Daniel nodded. "No, ma'am. Fixing the machine is my job." He pointed toward the kitchen. "But being decent to people is everyone's job." Several guests lowered their eyes. Victoria looked shocked. No one had ever spoken to her like that. The manager quickly checked. The kitchen staff had not eaten. The waiters had not eaten. The cleaning crew had not eaten. They had been working for hours while everyone else complained about dinner. Daniel returned to the machine. 10 minutes later, he found the problem. A damaged component had caused the ventilation system to shut down. He repaired it temporarily and restarted the system. The lights stopped flickering. The strange smell disappeared. The kitchen was safe again. Everyone began clapping. But Daniel did not smile. He quickly packed his tools. The hotel manager approached him. "Mr. Carter, thank you. You saved the evening." Daniel nodded. "I need to go home." Victoria watched him walk toward the exit. Something inside her changed. She suddenly realized that the man she had yelled at had been thinking about everyone except himself. She looked at the dinner table. The food was still warm. But for the first time that evening, she did not care about her own plate. She stood up. "Wait." Daniel stopped. Victoria walked toward him. The room watched silently. She looked at his dirty hands. Then at his tired face. "I owe you an apology," she said. Daniel said nothing. Victoria took a breath. "I was angry because I wanted everything to happen on my schedule. I forgot that you were a person." Daniel looked at her. "My daughter is waiting for me at home," he said. Victoria's expression softened. "You have a daughter?" "Yes." "How old?" 8. Victoria smiled sadly. "I have a son." Daniel was surprised. He had never heard that from anyone. Victoria looked down. "I don't see him enough." For the first time that night, the powerful CEO looked less like a CEO and more like a mother who had lost her way. Daniel gave her a small smile. "Then maybe you should go home early sometime." A few people laughed softly. Victoria laughed too. It was the first genuine smile anyone had seen from her that evening. Then she turned toward the hotel manager. "Please serve dinner to everyone." The manager blinked. "Everyone?" Victoria nodded. "Everyone. The kitchen staff, the cleaners, the waiters, security. Nobody works while others eat." The room erupted in applause. Daniel started walking away. But Victoria stopped him again. "Mr. Carter." He turned. "Please take this." She handed him an envelope. Daniel looked inside. It contained a generous payment. He immediately shook his head. "No. I was paid for the repair." "This is different." Daniel looked confused. Victoria smiled. "It's for Emma's school shoes." Daniel froze. "How did you know?" "You mentioned your daughter was waiting for you." Daniel looked down at the envelope. His eyes became wet. He wanted to refuse. But then he thought about Emma. He quietly nodded. "Thank you." Victoria smiled. "No. Thank you." Daniel finally left the hotel. When he arrived home, Emma ran to the door. "Daddy!" Daniel hugged her tightly. "I'm sorry I'm late." Emma looked at his dirty clothes. "Did you fix something?" Daniel smiled. "Yes." "What?" He thought for a moment. "I fixed a machine." Then he smiled again. "And maybe I helped fix something else too." The next morning, Victoria did something unexpected. She changed the way her company treated its workers. She created better working schedules, guaranteed meal breaks, and started a program to help employees with family responsibilities. She also began spending more time with her own son. Months later, she invited Daniel to speak at a company event about kindness in the workplace. Daniel stood before hundreds of employees. He did not talk about money. He did not talk about success. He simply said, "You never know what someone is carrying when they walk into a room. So before you judge them, try to understand them. And before you demand something from them, remember they may already be doing their best." The room stood and applauded. Daniel looked toward Victoria. She was clapping too. That night at the hotel, a single father had been shouted at because someone's dinner was getting cold. But instead of responding with anger, he responded with kindness. And his kindness changed more than one dinner. It changed a CEO. It changed a company. And it reminded everyone watching that true greatness is not measured by how much power we have, how much money we earn, or how important our name is. It is measured by how we treat people who cannot give us anything in return. So the next time you see someone struggling, remember Daniel. Maybe you cannot change the whole world. Maybe you cannot solve every problem. But you can hold a door open. You can say thank you. You can listen. You can forgive. You can choose kindness. Because sometimes, the smallest act of compassion can reach a heart that has been waiting for it for years. And sometimes, one kind person can change an entire room.